What a wild week 9 we just had. We had the Jacksonville Jaguars upsetting the Buffalo Bills 9-6. We had the Denver Broncos upsetting the Dallas Cowboys 30-16. And we had the Tennessee Titans going into Los Angeles and beating the Rams 28-16 while the defense stifled the Rams offense. Let's rewind back to Thursday night, where the Jets took on the Indianapolis Colts. Mike White was supposed to be the game changer for the Jets, but he got hurt early in the game, leaving Josh Johnson to come in and finish the game for the Jets. Now, although Josh Johnson was getting the offense going, it took him some time to get the connections with the offense. At that time, Jonathan Taylor was running all over the Jets' defense. Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines, who both got into the end zone. The Colts got the win 45-30. The Raiders took on the Giants. Now the Raiders were down to the Giants. The Raiders drove down the field, and in the red zone, they fumbled, and the Giants recovered to put the game away. The Giants won 23-16 as their defense got 2 interceptions, including a pick six, and that fumble recovery to end the game. The Atlanta Falcons took on the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans. Atlanta and New Orleans fought back and forth for the entire game. Late in the game, the Saints went down to reclaim the lead, and then the Falcons had the ball back. Now, Atlanta had the ball back late in the fourth, and Matt Ryan uncorked one down the field to Cordell Patterson, who ran down all the way inside the New Orleans red zone, putting the game away as time dwindled down with a game-winning kick from Younghoe Koo. Now, back to that Bills-Jaguars game. Their defense came up big in this game. Now, the most notable thing from this game was the Jaguars' defensive end / linebacker, Josh Allen, sacking Bills quarterback Josh Allen. Now, the Jaguars' Josh Allen also intercepted Bills quarterback Josh Allen, which was a historic and unforgettable game. Now, the Jaguars' defense coming up big forced Buffalo to do things that they normally shouldn't do. Now, at the end of the game, it came down to a late 4th and 16 where Josh Allen scrambled outside of the pocket and couldn't find his receivers as Jacksonville took the win over the Bills, upsetting the Bills in what was the biggest upset of the day. Now, division rivals, the Browns and Bengals, fought hard as the Browns just rolled right past the Bengals. Now, the Browns' offense got going early. Nick Chubb broke off for a 70-yard touchdown, and Donovan Peoples-Jones caught a 60-yard touchdown from Baker Mayfield. Now, on the defensive side, the Browns' D came up big against Joe Burrow, as Joe Burrow was forcing the ball to Jamar Chase. Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome were all over it. Denzel Ward intercepted the ball at his own 1 as Joe Burrow was trying to find Jamar Chase for a touchdown, and Denzel Ward picked it off and returned it for a 99-yard pick six. Now, the Browns made history with having 60-plus yard touchdowns in the passing game, rushing game, and on defense. Now, the Patriots took on the Carolina Panthers. This was a big game for Stephon Gilmore. He was facing off against his former team, the New England Patriots, who had traded him just a few weeks ago. Stephon Gilmore, you could tell, wanted to show the Patriots that he's still a top back, and he even got an interception in his revenge game. Now, as for Carolina, there wasn't much to look at on the offensive side of the ball. Sam Darnold looked like he was still seeing the ghost from when he was with the Jets facing the Patriots, because it looks like the ghosts were following, throwing multiple interceptions, including a pick six to J.C. Jackson. In this game between the Patriots and Panthers, there was a very crucial play in which Mac Jones grabbed on Brian Burns' ankle and twisted it around. Now, Hassan Reddick had a problem with this play and spoke on it after the fact. Then Mac Jones came out and spoke on it, saying he thought Brian Burns had the ball, which is why he twisted his leg around. Brian Burns then came out and spoke on Mac Jones' play and on Mac Jones' comment. Brian Burns repeatedly said it was bull multiple times in his press conference, and then went on to say that he wishes happy hunting to his fellow defensive ends when playing the Patriots. Another upset, the Broncos over the Cowboys. The Broncos got off to a hot start and just did not slow down. Dallas couldn't get anything going, and it was like that for the entire game. Tim Patrick caught balls deep from Teddy Bridgewater, and the run game was just running all over Dallas' defense. Even Javonte Williams had an angry run on Good Morning Football. Dallas looked flat-footed as Denver ran all over them, and Teddy Bridgewater threw all over their defense. Now, the Vikings and Ravens game was one of the better games of the week, especially since it went into overtime. Now, the Ravens and Vikings went back and forth all game long, scoring back and forth, and late in the game, the Ravens took the lead, but they gave the ball back to the Minnesota offense. Now, Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook were hot in this game. Dalvin Cook was running all over the Ravens defense, and Kirk Cousins was finding Adam Thielen deep down the field, including the game-tying touchdown. When it came to overtime, Lamar Jackson threw an interception in which Minnesota could not capitalize, and giving the ball back to the Ravens, set up for a Ravens win, leading Justin Tucker onto the field for a game-winning 34-yard field goal in overtime. Now you got the last 1 o'clock game, which was the Texans and Dolphins. These two teams combined for 9 total turnovers. Now neither team could get going. The star of the game was Mike Gesicki, hauling in multiple one-handed catches that led to a pretty insane highlight reel for him. To get the win, 17-9, it was a brutal low-scoring game for both teams. Moving on to the 4 o'clock window. The Chargers faced off against the Eagles in Philadelphia. Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts were battling back and forth. Now the Chargers offense got going early. Justin Herbert was lights out and on fire the entire game. It came down to the wire. The Eagles ran down the field and scored to tie up the game with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Now the Chargers got the ball with 6:05 left, and Justin Herbert led his team down the field. They converted on multiple fourth downs. These multiple fourth down conversions ultimately led the Chargers to run down the entire clock and kick in a game-winning field goal. The Chargers were able to get the win in Philadelphia, dropping the Eagles to 0-4 at home. Now, what was supposed to be the game of the week between the Chiefs and the Packers was derailed when Aaron Rodgers landed on the COVID-19 list. Now, Jordan Love had to step in. Jordan Love did not look good. This was not good for the Packers, seeing that Jordan Love was supposed to be their new guy when Rodgers left, and Rodgers could be leaving as soon as next season. Now, for the Chiefs, they looked ugly as well. The Chiefs' offense has not been able to get anything going as of late, and they weren't able to get anything going against the Packers. It came down to a late third down at the end of the game with a little over a minute left, where Patrick Mahomes just found Tyreek Hill for the first down to put the game away. Darnold 13-7 win over the Jordan Love-led Green Bay Packers. Another divisional game was the Arizona Cardinals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Now for the Cardinals, they were without A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray, and J.J. Watt, all of their star players. These are key players for the Arizona team, and Kyler Murray's absence led Colt McCoy to take over the team. Now, on the first play of the game, Chase Edmonds got injured, which led James Conner and Eno Benjamin to step up for the run game. Now, Conner has 11 touchdowns on the year, which is the most in the NFL right now. Eno Benjamin even got into the end zone for the Arizona Cardinals, as the 49ers did get George Kittle back. The Arizona Cardinals got the 31-17 win over their division rival, San Francisco 49ers. Tennessee Titans taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, yes, I did mention earlier that the Titans did win this game, but let's dive deeper into why and how. Now, Tennessee lost Derrick Henry, which led them to sign Adrian Peterson, a future Hall of Famer. Now, Adrian Peterson did not play a bigger role in this game because it was all Tennessee's defense in this one. Now, early in the game, the Tennessee Titans defense was stifling at the line, getting through to Matthew Stafford for multiple QB rushes. Now, the pass rush getting to Stafford led Matthew Stafford to do plays and for Stafford to do things that he normally wouldn't do in a normal game. Now, early in the game, Matthew Stafford was backed into his own end zone, and as he was getting brought down to the ground, in which would have been a safety, Stafford was able to get the ball off, but it went right into the Tennessee's defense. Now, Tennessee got down inside the red zone, and Ryan Tannehill threw a touchdown very shortly after. Now, Tennessee got the quick lead due to Matthew Stafford's interception. And on the very next play, Matthew Stafford threw a pick six to Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard intercepted it, jumped the route, and returned it for a pick six. Now, yes, the Tennessee Titans did get 14 points off of those two turnovers, and Matthew Stafford did say that he handed them those points. The Tennessee Titans' stifling defense is the reason why they upsetted the Los Angeles Rams in LA. Now moving on to the Monday Night Football game. Chicago took on Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Justin Fields looked phenomenal in this game. He looks like he is the Bears' answer that they've been looking for and is the Bears' franchise quarterback without a doubt. David Montgomery, it was his first game back, and the Bears shied away from using Khalil Herbert to get Montgomery going in his first game back. Justin Fields connected with his favorite target, it looks like right now, in Darnell Mooney for 2 touchdowns. And Pittsburgh, Chase Claypool got injured and is week to week from now on. Najee Harris led this Pittsburgh team along with Big Ben. Big Ben might have found his new tight end in his rookie, Pat Freiermuth, who he threw 2 touchdowns to. And between Freiermuth and Najee, the 2 Steelers rookies, they were able to lead Pittsburgh to this victory. But before Pittsburgh was able to get this victory, let's move back to the controversy at the end. Pittsburgh was on a long 3rd down, and Big Ben was sacked. It was 4th down. After the sack, the Chicago player who sacked him, Marsh, did his kick celebration, and there was nothing wrong with that. He's been doing that his entire career. But what came after that was him taking 3 steps towards the Steelers sideline and looking them down. Now, as he stared them down, the ref was reaching for his flag. And as Marsh ran back to the sideline, the ref looked to step backwards and moved into Marsh, making contact. Now, the crucial part was Marsh got a taunting penalty on this play, which gave the Steelers another 1st down, which led the Steelers to score a field goal and practically put the game away, with Chicago only getting under a minute left at the end of the game, which led to Chicago getting short time at the end of the game. Now this play was all over, and Marsh even came out and spoke on this play. He said that it was inappropriate what the ref did, and those calls shouldn't be called in crucial points of the game like they were. Now this play did cost the Bears the game in a certain way, because it gave the Steelers a 1st down when they should have been punting the ball back to the Bears. Now the ref did come out and say that the contact had nothing to do with the taunting penalty, and even other NFL officials came out and spoke on the matter, saying that they back the taunting penalty and that they are standing with the ref for calling the penalty. Now this struck all NFL fans and watchers everywhere with this taunting call. But at the end of the day, Justin Fields led the Bears down, and they attempted a 60-plus yard field goal at the end of the game, 64-yard field goal at the end of the game, and they were not able to connect on it, leading the Pittsburgh Steelers to a narrow 29-27 victory.